So we asked Tottenham fans, are Arsenal building a dynasty, and how worried are they about the potential of Arsenal building a dynasty with Arteta?
I'm not really worried about them, not too much. Not really worried about them. They're doing all right against mid-table teams like Chelsea and teams like that. But it's fine. It's fine. Against the bigger clubs, they'll struggle. Bigger teams like Spurs, they'll struggle for sure.
I don't rate Arteta that much. He's done a reasonable job. He's done okay, but he's a whinger, he's a moaner, and if things start to go wrong or unravel, it falls apart very quickly.
It is worrying, seeing what he's achieving at Arsenal. He seems to have, in the past, managers like Mourinho and they haven't had as much free reign as Arteta's appeared to have had, with Arsenal. So I'm hoping that Levy means business with Ange and that he's fully going to back Ange this summer. I would love to see some statement players signed this summer because I think that's what we really need for the rebuild at the moment. To be such a shame to see Mourinho, the same pattern happening again and again. I would love to see Ange fully supported.
The guy should have been sacked 3 years ago, right? But for whatever, but he's stumbled upon whatever it is that makes Arsenal click, right? Do I think it's good management or do I think it's just lucky? I think he's got lucky. He's been backed, right? Kroenke has backed him and he's given him what he wants, and he's managing to make a success of it. Do I like it? Not really. Do I care? No, not really. The wheels will come off at some point.
Until they win something big, then we can't really say, because they won an FA Cup under COVID rules, which, like Liverpool's title, doesn't count. But until they win, if they win the league this season, then I'm going to get scared.
I'm not worried because I think in the off-season, when the season finishes, we'll rebuild again, get some more players in, strengthen the squad, and I think we'll compete next season. I'm not too sure. We'll compete for top four, and that will bring us on to eventually competing to win the Premier League. It will happen one day.
Not while Pep's around. Not while Pep's around. They won't win the league, I'm sure of it, but I do think they'll beat us today.
That last guy says it for me. All of these managers, their careers will be defined by if Pep Guardiola bothers to stay and keeps going. City's just a different machine. It's just a different beast. How do you feel, Joel, about the potential of a dynasty? Klopp's moving on. Pep Guardiola, who knows how many years he has left at City. How do you feel about that?
Potential is the word.
Yeah.
I think, as anyone will say, Arsenal have to start winning things.
Yep, have to win a trophy.
The thing for me is that it's the first time we're seeing the consistency that needs to be in place for a dynasty to happen. Arsenal made half a go of it last year. They've taken it one step further this season. They're no longer a team that might be in or around. You look at Arsenal and expect them to be there.
Yeah.
And I think that's different. Like you said, Pep is still at City. As long as he's there and City keep winning, then it won't happen. But it's the first time Arsenal are being consistent enough with a good group of players, and you can feel that momentum.
What I think is so impressive about Arteta is the sort of learning from really specific errors and games and moments, and it's it is all part of a narrative, and it is semi-hyped up by social media, etc. But it's obvious. They went to Newcastle away the last 2 years, and it's been it's like a manly performance. They puff their chest out, and it's we know what happened. We are now more determined, and we think we've got the answer. And it's the same with the last two Spurs games at White Hart Lane.
Yeah,
the Champions League year where they didn't make it. It was awful. They really played the occasion, not the match. And this time around, they weren't very good for half an hour, but they were 2-0 up. And it's that is the sign of a team that is going to become champions. Absolutely. Or somewhere I sort of feel like Liverpool have been champions without the trophy. And I feel like we talk about the Pep thing. I think Arsenal are a champion, they are a championship winning team, potentially, that won't win a Premier League.
You have to have consistency in winning trophies. Klopp done it, Champions League, Premier League, FA Cup, whatever. If Arsenal now win the Premier League this season and come second next season with no trophies, and second the season after, you're not in that category. You have to be consistent in winning big competitions.